track number 11 is called Rough Around the Edges, and kind of how I feel like a lot of times. I had two of my great friends from Kentucky, or J.P.Pennington and L.Taylor from the country rock group Exile. And we kind of all used to play around clubs together and stuff up around Lexington. So J.P. and I had been writing some together, and they're in town doing something for, I don't know if they're making a new record or whatever. And J.P. was actually staying with me, and I guess Les was still living here at the time. Anyway, we're going to get together and try to write this thing, and we're just going to try to write. We don't know, we don't really have a song idea. And sometime while we're all giving one another an idea, J.P. said this thing, what about this rough around the edges thing I've got written down here, you know. I started playing this little Chuck Berry-like feeling thing, and J.P. just great guitar player, you know. He's just all over this thing. So we're jamming around on this. We're all trying to sing at the same time, and we're all, you know, how about this? How about this? We're getting all this stuff written down, and we hammered this thing out in the whole of a day there. So we went downstairs and played it for my wife, and who was kind of my barometer on things. I don't have a publisher sitting out there. So me and Les and JP liked it. Wanda said, yeah, boys, I think that's really good. So I get in and get it demoed, and Marty Stewart called me and tells me that Travis Tritt is getting ready to do a new album. He thinks I might have a shot at it. And he actually wants me to put Lonesome Standard Time on it and some things like that. So I did. I didn't think Travis would do Lonesome Standard Time because it had already been a hit 5 or 6 years earlier, you know, and I just thought it was too soon for that. But I went ahead and did what Marty said. Marty says, I want to take this stuff to the bus to him. So I'd put 4 songs, I believe, on this tape, and he wound up doing 2 of them. Travis Tritt did, who's just absolutely one of my favorite singers. So we're out at Earl Scruggs' house. You know, Earl used to have these great big birthday parties, and everybody in the world would be there. And some reason or another, Earl and Louise, they would always include me on them things, you know. So I'm out there, and you don't want to, I already had this idea for this album in my mind, and Travis had done these songs on a CD called No More Looking Over My Shoulder. It just had great versions of it, and then you could get out and play Rough Around the Edges live just with a guitar by itself, you know, and just kill it. So he's out at Earl's, and I don't really know him. I'd only been introduced to him a time or two, but I'm thinking, man, I'll never get this guy again. So I get my nerve up, and I go around, and I said, Travis, how you doing? He said, I'm doing good, you know. I said, man, I hate to ask you this here, but I'm fixing to do this bluegrass album. Well, you know Travis is an old banjo player. I'm fixing to do this bluegrass album, and I wondered if there'd be any way that I could get you to come in and do Rough Around the Edge. He don't even think about it. He says, absolutely. So we cut the track. I get him to come and sing it, and boy, it's proof's on here. It's I mean, he just wears this thing out. He is an absolute great singer.
Rough around the edges. I didn't come out of no GQ magazine. I don't use a lot of big words, but I'm big on love if you know what I mean. I ain't interested in being politically correct. I'll stand right up and say what I believe. I'm a little rough around the edges, but I think I'm exactly what you need.